Man, oh man, I got some notes. I got my trusty handed notes over here, and we're going to talk about this particular team as it relates to training camp and beyond. But one thing that I must say, I still love what's going on with this team. Although Mike McCarthy, he said that, hey, I never even left Frisco. It's all about football. But I'm going to talk about these three injuries that's on his team. La'el Collins, for one. Before his car wreck, he was in a car wreck the other day, and it's showing that he is no major injury. But before that time, before that time, little birdie out there saying that basically, he was out of shape. So hopefully he can get himself back into shape and be able to be out there on the field. And I'm glad that he was not hurt during the car wreck or what have you. More news to come. Also, the two guys that left practice today, Tyron Smith. Big boy, we need him. We need him. We need him to be healthy. And it was with an undisclosed injury. Maybe throughout the course of the day, people can fill us in on what's going on. I hate to deliver injury news, but at least he walked off the field with his own power. Let me repeat. He walked off the field with his own power. The other guy that was injured, what have you, is an ankle sprain, and that happened. That's natural. Shoot, and that's Jourdan Lewis. I think that he's going to bounce back. Put some double tape on it. You know what I'm saying? Elevate it a little bit. Do whatever it needs to be done in order to get back out there on the field to showcase your talent. Remember, this year is a true year for you. It's a true year because all of the warts and all of the crazy stuff is gone, right? And I'm rooting for my dog, Jourdan Lewis. So those are the injuries report. Now, another news, big number 97. Yes, Everson Griffin. He's wearing number 97. He walked in there and probably said, hey, Tristan, that's your number? Oh, that was your number. That 97 belongs to me. And Tristan probably said, you know what? Here you go. According to what you did in the NFL, I hope that I can get at least half of that right now. So I don't know what number Tristan was going to wear. Maybe he wears number 96 and maybe they just did a swap. I don't know. But Everson Griffin will wear number 97 for those who out there that loves numbers, right? I'm just putting that out there. All right, in other news, Amari Cooper had a wonderful interview with 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to them. They asked some good questions. They didn't sit there and say, hey, what is your favorite color type of conversation. So I love it. And they brought up this one thing that I took away from the interview. And then we'll fill in some more things. But they brought up this right here. Oh, Amari Cooper, on the road, it appears that your number's been gone. It seems as if though when the pressure and the amount of the world, it seems to make you small instead of big, basically. And he said, you know what? I can see what you guys are saying, but I contribute a lot to the target. And this is Amari Cooper talking. He said on the road, he wasn't targeted as much as when he's at the house. So they follow up with that question with this right here. And this is good stuff. I'm going to have to, verify, his target ratio and things like that. But I'm telling people, man, the guy had plantar fasciitis last year. And of course, everybody says, okay, that's just an excuse. And everybody have a reason, but the results are what matter. That's my mantra, right? But I will say this, give the guy a little longitude and latitude. As much as people dog out Amari Cooper's this and Amari Cooper that, his numbers are very comparable to a DeAndre Hopkins. And of course, DeAndre Hopkins had more attempts, but Amari Cooper had more yards and touchdowns. Let that sink into your mental. I digress. Let's talk about this right quick. They asked him, so what will be the difference between this coaching staff and the previous coaching staff? And he came out and said, well, I can really pretty much, I'm just paraphrasing, go to this coaching staff and explain. Not complain, but explain. And we can get some natures of what we need to do on the field out. And I love this. This is why you got to have a new coaching staff. This is why everything, when you bring it to the table, man, with a new team, with a new philosophy, everything just seems to be appearing that is going to be well. And they take heed in what you are saying. And they ask them, hey, we thought about it. We said it. Yeah. Hey, all of you guys can get 1,000 yards. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and also, of course, Michael Gallup. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoken when I said CeeDee Lamb. Dangerous Lamb. You know what I'm saying? That's the new name. Dangerous Lamb. That's going to be his name, right? But they also said, hey, with this new philosophy, with this system, with Mike McCarthy is bringing out and putting out, could you see that it could be 5,000? They just jokingly talking about this too, about the fact that these guys right here, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, can catch the ball out of the backfield, and they see it, vertical routes being run by, of course, Tony Pollard. And of course, Amari Cooper was like, man, you know, hey, if the offense is out there on the field, if we spreading the ball around and everybody eat, it's all good. And we already know, Amari Cooper is not going to give you a lot of heat action as relates to talk conversation, but I do like the fact that the guy is very poised in his communication. And they talked about this right here. Hey, are there really real talk, for real competition within the confines of the wide receiver room? And do you see yourself penciled in only where you are at? Or do you see yourself being moved to multiple spots, including Dangerous Lamb or CeeDee Lamb TD? And he said, no, this offense is going to be crazy because nobody is going to be confined to a particular spot on this particular team. So they're going to move CD this way a couple plays, and they may move Michael Gallup in the inside. They may move Amari Cooper on the end around. There's so many things that this team is going to do opposed to what we've seen in the previous administration. And I love it. I do. I can't mix this stuff up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I can't make it up. I cannot mix it up with what they did last year. Of course, it was cool. We saw Kellen Moore do his magic and things like that, but it just wasn't consistent enough, right? And we knew that somebody else had their toe in the water. But now, baby, ooh, this team is going to be just crazy with it. And of course, one of the bigger things that they brought up in that beautiful interview from 105.3 The Fan was this right here. They talked about special teams. Oh, I'm sorry. Red zone, I meant to say. My notes, man. See how all these notes I wrote is just crazy scribble scratch, but Law can read them. I can read them. But they were saying is that within the red zone, why is it so hard for the team last year to really get things going? He said basically because they took away majority of the routes. And when you take away the routes, it's harder for teams when you're not creative enough to really score in the red zone. And if you really look back at everything, the top teams, the big teams, the teams that consistently get to the playoff and go far are teams that can score top 3, top 5 in the red zone efficiency. And that is why they're practicing on it. And on the other news on the defensive side, I got to throw this in, LVE. He had a wonderful interview too. And he was talking about, hey, the reason why we didn't get turnovers and takeaways the previous years is because we didn't practice it. It wasn't a focal point. Now they focusing on that. See, people do what they want to do. And when you do what you want to do, it 9 times out of 10 does not go the right way. But if you do what you need to do, it goes the right way. They needed turnovers. They needed to improve on red zone efficiency. But if you never practice it day in and day out, you would never become an expert at those particular things. So all this offseason and during training camp, they practicing on it. They practicing on ripping the ball out, punching the ball out, not just looking at the ball. How many games you guys seen last year where we seen the ball just looking at the ground, just chilling? The ball was just sitting there like, hey, man, where the Mai Tais at? Or Robert Quinn, may he have a great year in Chicagoland. But sometimes he could have had multiple sack fumbles. But he was sacked the quarterback and not even go for the ball. And how many times we get into the red zone, money zone, green zone, and not punch it in, regardless of who the quarterback was. Even if we go all the way back when Tony Romo was throwing the ball, we'll get to the red zone and we'll be like, okay, either it's going to be an interception or it's going to be a field goal. That's the craziest thing. So now we're working on those things. Boy, man, I'm telling you guys, this team is different. This team is just unique in a sense. Let me see if I covered everything. I covered the majority of everything. Amari Cooper did say this right here. This is in my notes right here. He did say about Rain Dakota Prescott is that he throw like the old Jerry Rain would say about Brandon Whedon. He throws the best balls, right? He said that really Dak Prescott throws a real catchable ball, a real good ball, believe it or not. And if you think I'm lying, if you think I'm just trying to make stuff and pull it out of the sky and just try to see what sticks, I don't do that right here. You guys know I'm going to give you guys the truth. Look up Pat Mahomes, and he said he contribute a lot of his throwing mechanics or the way and the nature he goes through his progression to a Dak Prescott. You may have to Google it yourself. I just want to just be able to put it out there so you guys can do some homework, right? But at the end of the day, Cowboy Nation, I hope that La'el Collins, can figure out a way to stay healthy and get out there and get some reps in. I hope that Tyron Smith, whatever injury it is just something that he can put some Mississippi mud on it and be back out there. And of course, an ankle injury for Jourdan Lewis, I think he'll be able to shake that off, right? Shake it off, Jordan. Get back out there on the field. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. If you're new to this channel, my name is Law Nation, L-A-W. The beard is real. You guys see the beard action going on. Shout out to all of the beard kings out there in Beard Gang Nation. Check me out on multiple platforms, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, Black Planet. I'm everywhere, baby. Twitter, Twitch. I'm everywhere, literally. iTunes and beyond. Hit me up, LAW Nation, and hit that subscribe button. Like this thing. And one of the other things that you guys can do is really, really share. Sharing is caring, right, Nation? And support the nation, too. There's supporter tabs on my Facebook page now. That's what the green heart is for. And we got special content, unique content that will be there. And if you're on the YouTube, you already know what to do. Join the membership squad. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's all like popcorn now, baby. One way or another, we're going to get this thing going the best way possible. Let's go. And let's grow. Let's grow that beards out, baby.